Welcome back to Oxygen Not Included. My name is Ninos and I will be your guide. We will be doing a combined Let's Play where I explain what I do, how I progress the base, but in each episode I will be having a very specific topic that I'll be going into detail with, and this is the topic of today. This is storage, and that's just not working. I mean, this is not very far into the game. I had to zoom a bit back, about 100 cycles in, and we have all of this space already taken up with storage space, and it's just not sustainable. We need a solution that can store infinite, yes, infinite amount of infinite amount of money. Oh, I wish, infinite amount of crap, junk, and I will then be able to extract it at will, and from anywhere in the base, I'll be able to get it to the centralized infinite storage without even doing anything. And I need to be able to get it from that storage easily to anywhere. That sounds almost too good to be true. But I have devised a way, and I'm really proud of this, so this is what I'm going to show you in this episode. So if you find that interesting, be sure to hit the like button, sit back, relax, enjoy the ride, and consider subscribing to the channel if you want to see more. The first thing we obviously need is we need to create room for our new build. So let's remove all of these first. Alright, we got enough space to work with. So the idea of this is quite simple. You can already see the essence of it. Just leave the crap on the ground. It's of course not a pretty place, so they'll be really unhappy with it because they will be walking on this over the time. But what I want to do is I want to simply make a little teeny tiny location here. And all I want to do in this location, I will also be making a weight plate. This is not technically necessary, but you know, it's funny to see how much we actually put in here. And the essence of this, we'll just make sure these are quick, is that we go with chutes here. They will be putting in. Then you need a lot of this shipping. The conveyors, they are absolutely amazing. So basically what I want to do is I want to say, let's build the automation, the weight plate here. This will not be part, this will just be for this location. So what I want to do is I want to say anything that comes in, I'll just, as long as I put it on this rail, then it will be dropped either here or anything from the bottom will be dropped here. The reason why I have two is because I don't want congestion on this rail because there can only be a certain throughput. So by having two, I'm actually making sure that I have two possibilities to go into this location. So this actually solves the storage part. So let's build the storage part and come back to that. Okay, so this is the very start of it. What we have now is we have anything coming in on the rail, and anything coming in on the rail will be placed at this location. But that's obviously not enough. So what I can do is I can make this kind of automatic dispenser that will be able to put things in here as well. So we can bring things into this location. The idea is to bring everything to this tile. And then because we built it there, we now have the opportunity to also grab it from there by doing stuff like this. And doing exactly 3 of these. You don't need 3 of these, but this will make sure that we have much more throughput, because we might later on have to have a lot of throughput in and out of this location. So I do it this way just to make absolutely sure that I have enough of this. And now this one, we need to first of all make sure that it only set to sweep. That's super important. And when it's set to sweep, I want to say, well, the easiest thing would be saying it to all. But I don't want that, because I don't want, for example, bleachstone, which off-gases. I don't want things that are liquefiables, no liquefiables at all. And I don't want anything organic that off-gases these 4 things. And aside from this, I basically want all of it, right? So with that being done, we will now have everything that goes in here, but it'll be only set to sweep. So once we have these ones built, let's get those built, and then we can sweep up at least this area here. So now this is swept, and then, or this is built, and then I can just casually sweep this area. What you will see is that they will start putting it in here, and then it will drop into this location. Now nothing will be picked up from this location, because I have to make sure, this is the one thing you have to be careful of. Never ever sweep this location, because then it all goes bad. So what happens here is that all of these go in, and they will put it into the automatic dispenser. I have no idea why there's no power, why it works so well without power at all, but it works. And these are also going to be helping put it in here. So this is, now we're seeing the essence of putting stuff in here. So here we've now cleaned up this area, and that's just nice and good. But what it doesn't achieve is, what about all the other crap that we have down here? Well, what if I just build it like this, that contains, and then I'll build a little container here. I'll be getting some power. Yeah, we'll just leave this bad power as well. And then we'll build this as well. And here's a little note about the priorities that's super, super important. So here it is. You can see that only the ones who have this mechatronic engineers can build these. But if you look at the priorities, if you have someone who's skilled at mechatronics, that means they're good at machinery. So you'll have this one set up. That means they'll never get this. So if you get a mechatronic engineer, you must have the priority for building as high as the other priorities. Otherwise, they will simply never get around to building the stuff that they wanted. So that's super important. I wonder if we can copy this from here to here. No, we can't. So again, here I will just be sweeping basically all. I'll do the same thing as last time. I don't want to take bleachstone. I don't want to take the liquefiables, and I don't want to take the 4 organic materials that off gas. There we go. And what you now see is that all of this will be picking up, and it doesn't even need to be anything here in terms of priority. But if we want to make it cleaner than this, then we can set it to sweep only, and then just do a sweep as well. That means the dupes will also be helping, but I could set it like in a low priority, like a priority 2. That means it doesn't go there at all. But they will still be getting in here, apparently, because they have nothing else to do. But the idea is you can also just set it as not sweep only, and then you can take all of this out. And then you will see that they are going to go in here. So why is the other one not working? Well, because one of these auto sweeper is enough to keep this one flowing at 100%. You can see this is completely full and sending out. This is one of the key points. So this is basically something we just set it up. And once we set it up, it's going to take a while where it's just doing this. But it's going to be completely dupeless activity. Look how little they have to do now. They have nothing to do. But this is only one half. So for the part, you can use the dupes to help out if they have nothing else to do. Then get them to sweep as well. So that they can go in here, and then they will be doing the hard work. But if you want to focus them on building and other stuff, then you can just let this one just go. It'll take maybe an hour or something, but hey, this is not a fast game, so not a problem. But it gets better than this, because now what we have is you can click on this one. We can see we already have 300 and I don't know. Yeah, 340 tons, 1,000, 300. Yeah, that's a lot. We'll get more than a million kilos here. So what we need to do at this point is we need to also be able to get it out from here. So for example, let's zoom forward in time to get when this one is done, and we can start looking at how we get stuff out. Now that everything is done and we have cleaned up the area, then we need to take a look at the next part, because now we brought so much junk into this location. It's like unbelievable. 1.7 million kilos of junk, and we need to get it out again. And then I will give you some examples of, I'll show you how to get it out, and then I will give you examples of what, for example, to do in this case. So I'll be doing this, and I'll be doing that. And if we go these, actually I think it's better to take it from here. There we go, and I will be taking all of that and just in. So what we're doing now is we are making some 8 outputs, and you can make more if you don't have this kind of setup, because you can also make them up here. But you know, I think this will actually be satisfactory for us now. I will not be using that. We have way more. So these are now outbounds, and then I'm going to be sort of getting them outbound in a different way, just to give you a sense. And then we need to schedule where we're going to bring these things over to other things. The first thing we're going to do is in the very first episode, you can see here we are also still getting things in. For example, up here, when we make some refinery metal refined, when we pick up refined metal, it'll be picked up. It should actually also go manufactured for steel as well. Then it picks up the steel and sends that back, and that means it just gets stored here. Then the one thing we showed in the previous episode was actually up here, the kill chamber, where we have a lot of eggs. So what we need to do is pick up all of the eggs in our base and bring them in there. That should be pretty easy to do. Let's make sure this one gets prioritized. And what I want to do is then pick up, hey, all of the eggs that are available. Critter egg, there. They will just simply grab all the critter eggs and put them into this box. Once that's done, Do we have critter eggs? Yep, we have a lot of critter eggs here. And they will be transported on this belt. So that means now from anywhere, if there's ever picked up an egg, that could be stored somewhere. It could be, yeah, anywhere. When we sweep it, it comes back here. It always ends at this location. And as it ends at this location, it will automatically be brought out. All the eggs will be brought out to the location where we need the eggs being brought out. Brilliant. It gets better than that. Of course it gets better than that, because one of the other annoying things that we have to deal with is how to feed the coal power. So what we can do is, for the coal power as well, we can set up, hey, this here, that one, and I can set up one here, and I can set one here. Then we can get the receptacle. Note that receptacle requires more tech than the other ones, so that might be a bit more out of reach. And then we'll go to here. Just drag it down through these two, and we can then upgrade this part. I'll be upgrading this, and once it's done, we'll see how that works. And that is now completed. So what we will do is we will be sending from here. I'll be taking only on this one consumable ore and only take coal. So you will see that they will be picking up the coal. The coal will be moving on the rail over here. Then it'll be put into this receptacle and the other receptacle. Now here's another important thing. Priority here and priority here. I want to make sure that my priority for the coal generator is as low as possible, so it's never the dupes that get assigned to go in here. So I put it to 2, and then I want to conveyor rail. No, come on, conveyor receptacle. Let's take that as level 1. We need to be that low priority, so it goes from here and out into the coal generators. And they are of course now disabled, but once they enable, we can see that now they will go like that. They will be automatically fed. That means we no longer have any reason to ever go in here, because all the coal is now fed automatically. But it gets better than that. It gets even better than that. Let's look at what's even better. So what do I mean when I say that it can get even better than this? Well, we are getting a lot of food products down here where we sweep it and we get something, and we want to make sure that all of that becomes available up here. So what I've done is I have built a little location where it goes from here and into this location. This one has carbon dioxide, so it shouldn't contaminate too much. Then I'll be able to pick it up here. So here's another thing. For example, you can actually get this to go organic, and then say rot pile as well. So if there is a rot pile, get it out here. Then it will be going back at this location, and then of course we'll need to have one of these doing taking rot piles out. But that's another matter. We're not talking about rot piles. We're talking about being able to take anything that's edible and anything that is a cooking ingredient. You can see it drops down here, and also consumable ore, for example sucrose. I'd like to get that as well. Probably don't need to put all of the sucrose up here, but now we have it at this location. And maybe I don't actually want to put sucrose up there, because then we might have it in another place. But here, and then I'll be making sure that you can have all of it. There. So if we ever get any food product into our general storage, we don't have to fear, because it will automatically be brought into this location where it can just be stuck. And then it will from here be brought directly into the electric grill. If we now have any rotten food that spoils, it'll be picked up immediately and sent back. Then we can take, for example, let's say which one would be appropriate. I can take, for example, this one. If you want to say, hey, you're going to be taken care of if there's ever anything that is disgusting in this location, then take care of it. And then go, where do we want to go? We want to go this way. There. And just put it into that location, for example. That means we no longer have to worry about if we ever pick up anything disgusting. We can just bring it out. No, it'll be a tiny bit of slime lung, a tiny bit of rot, but nothing major here. And those are the kind of ways that now that we have this, we can tie it all together. Other examples that we're not going to do, we can do fertilization for plants. For example, we can do transfer between planets. So if we have those these here, you can also just bring it directly, saying if we want all of the, I don't know, all the steel going to the other planet, for example, or all the stuff or plastic, because we're only making plastic here, for example. That kind of thing could be done. We can also transfer it up to our metal refinery so that we bring materials up here immediately. One of the things you need to be aware of is that if you bring multiple things on the same pile, you must be able to export them like this. Otherwise, you will have problems. And what I mean by that is you don't want to have things stuck on the belt. For example, in this case, I have coal stuck on the belt, but that's okay because the only thing I'm transporting is coal, so it's okay for it to be stuck. But for example, if I was leaving sucrose, then I need to make it into a location here where it drops out, because as it drops out, then it can be picked up. You can see how well it works because now up here, we've also set it up the farming part. The farming is now automatically picking everything up and sending it up. So whenever we have a grub fruit, it'll be automatically sent back, consolidated on the trash line, gets sent in here, and as soon as it drops in here, it'll be picked up and sent directly to our food storage. And there we go. That's delivered some meat. So also meat is also being delivered, and the meat is being stored. And then it will also be taken from, and I just want to make sure that priorities are lower. And we might actually go like that, because we don't even need it to be very high. So grub fruits are stockpiling here. As we go into this location, we can now enable the grub fruit, and enable the barbecue. And so that we have all of these things being worked. And now they will be taking from here and going back into this location. Super amazingly awesome. And that is basically how I do all of my storage and all of my filtration. This one can store infinite amount. They will never collapse. And you can pick it up easily and send it to wherever you like. I hope this was super useful for you. I think that this has completely simplified all ways of doing storage. This is what I do on all my planets after we get just a bit of the way through. It doesn't have the highest throughput, so if you want to sort of really just clean out all of this, then there is another way to do that, and I will just briefly show you right here for the people who are at the end, all the way to the end of the video. So up here, if you want to clean this up in a really efficient, easy way, or not efficient, but, well, I don't know, it doesn't take anything. Basically, you just do this. And then basically what happens is this can reach just over to the automatic dispenser, which will then output it out here. And the next one will pick it up from this location and put it into this. This one will pick it up and put it into that. It will flow down because it's easier than taking a rail, because then we'll just put it here. And as you can see, everything that comes down will be now going back here, and that will go back on our trash line or our storage line. And that means once you have built this, you don't really have to care about it at all. Of course, you need to build the infrastructure, but once you're done, you can just take away the infrastructure. You don't lose any materials, but it's a really convenient, easy way for this one to just be done. It's important you place it so that they do not... Okay, suffocating, that's kind of sad. And as this one progresses, it doesn't take very long, and it'll just gradually remove this. Once you've done, you can just remove this, and you have a nice clean place. Of course, you need to pick up the very tiny amounts of copper, of wire and stuff that you leave behind, but this is like massive amount. So it's an easy way to do this if you don't want to spend your dupes on doing it. So I hope this thing was useful for you. If it was, be sure to hit the like button and consider subscribing to the channel. I'll be doing more of these oxygen not included guides as I come up with my ideas. I'm streaming this on Monday, Wednesday, Friday on Twitch TV. So if you are interested, be sure to check that out as well. Until next time, take care, and as always, stay effective.